Hi everyone, we're going to find the sum for each arithmetic series described. We're using basically this formula here. So we need to find the number of terms, the first term, and the last term. And we find the first term and last term just by plugging in 3 for our first term and 8 for our last term. The n is the number of terms. And the way you get this is you take the upper number, 8, minus this number, that gives you 5, but then you have to add 1. That's where this formula in here is coming from. But you have to add 1, so that's going to be 6 as the number of terms. So let's look at n on this one. The n on this one is going to be 10 minus 4, which gives you 6, but you have to add 1. Alright, so that's going to be 7 terms. So let's get started. Here's our first one. So we want to write our formula out. Your first term plus your last term. Alright, so your first term is when you plug in 3. So you get 5 times 3 minus 10. So that's 15 minus 10 equals 5. So your first term equals 5. Your last term is when you're going to plug in the 8. So 5 times 8 minus 10, that equals 30. So your last term is going to be, let's put a sub n is 30. The number of terms, like I talked before, a lot of students are going to put 5, but it's actually 6. You can actually count on your fingers and figure that out, but it's just going to be 8 minus 3, and then you add 1. So that's going to give you the 6. Alright, so now you just plug everything in. So n is 6, first term is 5, your last term is 30 here, so you get 3 times 35, and I believe that's 105, so 3 times 35, I just want to make sure I do my video right, so 105. And the next one is very similar. Our number of terms is going to be 7, because what you do is you take your 10 minus 4 equals 6, and then you have to add 1 to count the one when you subtract it, count the first term. So basically your first term, and we're going to just call it a sub 4, but your first term is just going to be plugging in 4. So that's 2 times 4 plus 1, so that equals 9. And your last term, which this case is the a sub 10, is going to be 2 times 10 plus 1. So that equals 21. Now we just plug it in the formula. So your sum is your n, which is 7, divided by 2, and we're going to add 9 plus 21. So this equals 7 divided by 2 times 30. 2 goes into 30 15 times. So we have 15 times 7, and that equals 105. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.